Copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976 allowance is made for fair use purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is promoted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing non-profit in favor of fair use. All media news video is news for the purpose of review and commentary on the terms of fair use. All footage, music, and images news all belong to their respective companies. Back in the spring of 2003, Kichisawa's light novel series Kino Tabi was adapted into 10-episode anime, with Ryoto Nakamura as the director and Tsuruwamba doing the animation. Let's head straight into the plot. While it may seem simple, it actually contains quite heavy. Kino Tabi is basically a young female traveling over the name of Kino and her talking about homies. As they travel around this certain not very explained world, they go on what are considered as country to country, staying on a total of 3 days each country to visit. This series' goal storytelling takes up methodically. Each country can understood are quite different from one another and have absolutely no connection at all, with the exception of 3 cases when the countries did have some kind of bond with each other in timeline, although it would take more than just one episode to realize this. Each country can learn home to have their own problems, traditions, and stories to tell. From where I was standing, each country resembles the very nature of humankind throughout history. Everything seemed relevant. It felt like the dark world we all live in. Having to the point, each episode had its own storytelling, so I never really got bored. Although in some cases, I did feel like building up hard dark, depressing, and slow this series can get. But each individual episode managed to find its own way in getting me intrigued back into the story again. I suppose if we were following the Kino Tabi story, it was at times a little too slow, easy, and calm to watch for my taste. Getting to the characters, all you have to be concerned about is Ken and Humi, since they basically make up 80% of the show's characters. Sure, there are other characters that may seem interesting and relevant, but they've shown a very novel and active introduction. But relating and getting attached to both Kin and Hobbies may seem hard. For the most part, Kino is a runaway such kudere, although there are definitely moments where we saw more humanly emotional Kino. Kino, just like the series itself, is a very rare treasure nowadays. She's strong, both physically and mentally, young woman who has toiled in every situation is in, although as a person she's shrouded in mystery. There were about 2 episodes where we get Kino and Hermes' backstory and OVA, which explains part of their past. Hermes is no different from Kino, with a few exceptions, as he's equally mysterious and doesn't have much of a personality. But the two of them together have great chemistry, as traveling partners have trust each other and work well together when the situation calls for it. Furthermore, when a country has a massive problem, it's Kino and Hermes who take a step back and discuss it. Their opinions and thoughts make them seem like the only sane ones. As much as I would like to say it, Kino Tabi's proceedings didn't seem to exist, but when it did, it was unnoticeable. Couples will use Sakai to also did for the more times when need to, but there were a few tracks that were played throughout the entire anime. Those very tracks sent shivers on my spine and gave me a reminder of what Kino Tabi was about. The openings are something you find nowadays. It means to be gentle and soothing, occasionally being upbeat, as it's not up to J-pop nor the obnoxious middle, or at least that's the impression I'm getting. The same comes with the ending, except it's much more toned down, being far common and resembling a child's lullaby. Both of Kino and Hermes' seiyus, Ai Maeda and Ryuji Aigase, have very special voices that you don't hear often in anime, or at least that I'm aware of. Nevertheless, they did play their parts well, and the same can be said for the seiyus. The animation may still one, but doesn't quite stand out, but doesn't need to given the show's atmosphere. Even if the animation wasn't top notch, it was still a pleasure. It was still pleasant to look at and complete with of coloring. The character designs were overly detailed as they were simple. They appear to be rather childlike, but still give a warm fuzzy feeling inside, in contrast to dark rooms where Kino Tabi had offered. Overall, Kino Tabi is still not for everyone, but it is a rare treasure. But it is a rare treasure and a nice little breather when compared to what's coming out today. For the story can be both dark, depressing, grim, and gloomy, as it reflects the realistic nature of humankind as it has always been, and it was an enjoyable tale for me. In contrast to the ones that honestly keep me up from time to time, but accompanied by the simple animation gave this anime as a whole a childlike, pure, innocent aura. I would recommend watching this anime if you're looking for something that's mature, dark, realistic, yet isn't too complicated, and holds the pure innocent aura you once had as a child. I rate Kino Tabi a 7.2 out of 10 portion.